You may ask to... I can't really put into words how I feel right now, but my initial feeling is that we are all underreacting. To what? You may ask. To everything. Literally everything. Do we not understand the gravity of what these people did to these children? The pictures, the comments, the emails, the complete disregard for their innocence. I had to stop reading because I have 2 daughters. And it made me want to lock every single door in my house and keep them inside forever because at least in here they're safe. Like, how is anyone okay with this? Like, I feel like I'm going crazy. How is this not the top headline everywhere? Like, why isn't the media doing its job and digging into just how horrific this actually is? And then you have Ghislaine Maxwell pleading the fifth about Trump's involvement, saying he needs to grant her clemency. People are just supposed to accept that? Let me make something very clear here. You only plead the fifth when you know the truth is going to cause problems. You don't plead the fifth out of innocence. You do it because the answer is going to expose something. I just don't know how much clearer it has to be made that we have a pedophile rapist sitting in the White House governing like none of this ever happened. So yes, I think as a human collective, we are all underreacting.
Was accused of having sex with goats by over 30 different people and regularly denied it, but also dropped very public hints about how much he liked to have sex with goats for decades, and ran a goat pageant to find the best looking goats, and was best friends with someone who got convicted of fucking goats and trafficking goats to friends all over the world who also liked to fuck goats, and his name was in the classified goat fucker chronicles 5,000, 38,000 times, and he wished other goat fuckers well in prison. What do you think the odds are that person is also a goat fucker?
Oh my God. Whose comment is that?
This is the Attorney General of the United States in a congressional hearing. This woman's only job is to uphold the law equally.
Motivated investigations, grasping at something they
and answer to the Congress directly.
can charge their enemies with. We now have concrete evidence of disgusting criminality revealed in the Epstein files. So I really have just one question for you. How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
Now, that's a pretty straightforward question, isn't it? Which should promptly be answered by the Attorney General.
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No, you're going to answer.
She's like, no, I'm not answering your question. She did this all day, and she does it routinely. This is the way she handles congressional hearings. Now, by all rights, Congress should have her in the unemployment line and or jail. It's not happening because this is all by design. They are in on this. Civil war, civil unrest. This is literally, you're watching the mechanics of what I've been warning you specifically about for years.
the
are
question the way I
ridiculous.
asked it.
Chairman
How many have
Jordan,
you
I'm
indicted?
not going to get in the gutter with these people,
How many
but
have you-
I'm going to answer the question.
How many have you indicted?
Again, the time belongs to
Reclaiming my time.
the time
Well,
belongs.
I think it's very
Reclaiming
interesting.
my time.
I think it's very
Reclaiming my
interesting
time.
You can
that
reclaim
he
your
talks
time,
about they
reclaiming my time,
indicted.
Mr.
The
Chairman.
president said they
Close the
indicted
clock.
him
Mr.
twice.
Chairman, please
They
stop the
sure
clock
did.
and
And
stop
he
the clock and
indicted-
restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will be in order.
theatrics.
The time belongs to the gentleman.
The theatrics are, you were asked a direct question, how many people have you indicted from the Epstein files? And you want to go off on a hit list. That is not what the Attorney General is in the congressional hearing for. She is there to answer direct questions by Congress. That is her duty.
New York.
Please.
We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when you
Reclaiming
ask
my-
a question, the
The
witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she
Right.
gets to
The
answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like
What?
the answer,
Reclaiming
Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest.
Reclaiming
So
my-
he asked a
Reclaiming my
4-minute
time.
question.
Restore 45
and
seconds,
I
Mr.
am
Nadler,
going
please,
to
Mr. Chairman.
answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch.
Reclaiming-
Not on our time. No way.
Reclaiming-
And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, oh, I
anything
did tell you because we
washed
saw
up.
what you did in the
Who's
Senate.
a lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Time, and I should...
The woman is a complete embarrassment to the Department of Justice, the rule of law, and it compounds everybody's feelings about, well, why do I have to go to fucking court if they're allowing this shit? I see it. It's popping up. Dude, they are getting people pissed on every angle they possibly can.
I say humanity will never get another chance. I need to point out what I'm talking about, what we have a chance to end.
He actually isn't wrong.
This network, this ring, this trafficking ring. Chattel slavery. Do you understand
Thousands of years, he ain't wrong.
Just watched one of the
Oops.
most disturbing
that? Work completely in its entirety across the fucking globe. Right now is the only time the human attention span has been focused long enough to see what the fuck is going on.
Actually, he's wrong about that, because there's several million people in this nation that back it up. They still deny this guy's involvement in anything. And Jeffrey Epstein was a failed, broke businessman when he ran into Trump in the first place. Trump had been trafficking little girls off of his yacht, the Spirit of New York, for decades before he ran into Epstein. It is definitely the Trump files with a little peppered Epstein in it. It's been that way since the 70s and 80s. Donald Trump has owned these little pageant girls. I've done several videos on this. Again, this is by design. Doesn't have anything to do with your stock market, which actually isn't doing all that well. But truth be known, your government knows your moon's doing a goddamn cartwheel every night. And why? They require, at their own admission, 3/4 of the population to die to ensure their bunkers are not infiltrated. That is their driving force in life. Republican and Democrat walking hand in hand, Crown Vatican DC Corporation, 180 nations know fully well what's going on. You're walking around being social butterflies with little fragile wings.
If we prosecute the people in the Epstein files, the whole system will collapse. So Pam Bondi said if we prosecute the people in the Epstein files, the whole system will collapse.
I told you that long time ago. Now you're hearing it from the Attorney General of the United States. I say burn it the fuck down. What I'm getting at here, there is no political opposition to this. The outrage is staged. They know what's going on. They want the division in the street. Republicans and Democrats, hand in hand on this. Now, a lot of people have issues swallowing that. The reason is they're afraid of these other suns entering our system. If you can't grasp that, then you're beyond me helping, because I'm giving you the reality of the situation. There's no A or B or C, which are Democrats and Republicans. They're all walking hand in hand. The outrage is fake. The only outrage is on the street. And guess what? Half the people that are outraged are afraid to say anything. That's half the fucking population right there. There's another third of the population that actually back this stuff. The only possible way the people win is if this system falls apart because we, the people, stop being the system. ICE agents would have to stop. The police would have to stop. And we would have to stop doing everything for these people. That's not going to happen. I suggest you get ready for what's coming. So I found this video interesting. Universe in composition. See, there goes our sun, and then there's a blue star. One, I've argued with a couple of boneheads that a blue star is a classification. So obviously a blue star is a classification. Also, it tends to be larger than our star. You're not going to be able to see it very well. It's a blue spectrum. It's ultraviolet. The plants can, and that's why they've been going hermaphroditic before they seed and create the grain that our livestock need. How big is the blue sun behind us? I really have no reference for that. I know he's supposed to be the ultimate king of the solar system. He could be pretty big. Anyway, regardless of what your government's doing, you need to be prepared for what's really going on. You really need to be prepared for what's going on. Your government's going to commit suicide, burn itself to the ground, because they know, they probably know what size it is. I wouldn't doubt it. Are you kidding me? It doesn't matter. It's huge. It's bigger than our sun. And it's blowing comet tails the wrong way. Oh yeah. Even as it's leaving away from the sun, the tail is going off stronger than before. So it's brightening as it's leaving the going away from our sun. That's your 3-eye atlas or whatever. Duh.